we all know the one thing we should never do is peek inside someone else's diary. Don't do it. But what if they wanted us to? Our next guest is giving us a backstage pass to his most personal thoughts and stories.
Yeah, comedian, explorer and author Michael Palin is here with us after releasing the newest edition of his diaries. And there they are. It's quite a tome, this, Michael. There's a significant amount of memories in there.
It is quite a tome, you know, but that's it. It covers 11 years.
Yes.
And what I want the book to do is not just to be about all the work you're doing, but the bits in between. Yeah. And the family life is there, and all the problems, medical examinations, all that sort of thing. Things that people don't really ever sort of, you know, put into books.
No.
It's all there because that's
all, as it were.
That's a sort of slab of life. So it does come out rather bulkily, yeah.
I mean, when you say a slab of life, you really do grab the bull by the horns. I mean, you don't show any signs of slowing down at all.
No. Well, I don't like slowing down, really. I mean, I know I will. I'll have to soon. But I love challenges. I love new work. I feel very privileged. I'm in a position where I can suggest things and go to places that other people wouldn't be able to see. And that's something that I think is really, really important to remember, that you know, there's lots to do, lots to see.
This decade, from 1999 to 2009, you sort of described as young Michael growing up.
Yeah.
I've never been I kept a diary when I went travelling, and I've never been, and I always think and look back and think, I really wish I had got the discipline of keeping a diary. Is it something you had done from a very early age?
Yeah, I mean, I did at school, you know, you keep it for about 3 weeks. You get your let schoolboy's diary and scribble in, you know, Mr. Johnson was rude to me today or something like that, you know, got lines. But in 1969, I decided I would try and keep it because I'd just given up smoking, and that was a great big sort of challenge to my willpower.
Right.
But what can I do with this re-energised willpower? Well, I'll try and keep a diary. And it was actually about the same time that Python began, by coincidence. So I sort of kept it going, and you know, I thought it'd be 5 weeks. It's been 55
it's still
years.
Going.
Yeah.
And these 10 years, then. So explain a little bit about what people will find in these 10 years and you growing up.
Well, it was a sort of very busy period for travelling. I mean, I'd been done around the world in 80 days, but in these diaries, there's the Hemingway adventure, Sahara, Himalaya, and all things which I think, can I really keep going? Well, let's have a go. And they work out quite well. So in a sense, what you'll find here is not the journeys themselves, because they're in book form already.
Sure.
But what happens between, you know, airport checkouts. You know, what are you doing at home? How things are going, and how you take decisions. I mean, there's lots of things in there. Like I was about to write a novel which was set in the Glasgow sewers.
Oh, wow.
A body is discovered. In, don't ask me why. But I thought this was a brilliant idea. You know, I thought, oh, great, I'll do this. And then about 3 weeks later, totally forgotten, and you're doing something else, you know? And there are many moments where I say, I'm not going to travel anymore. That's it. I've done that. And then you immediately take on the sort of, you know, 10
Phone call
parts.
comes in, yeah.
But that's what's so interesting about it, and what's so honest about it as well, is there's little tiny things in there that are just kind of, you're right, like health checkups and things like that. But then there are also kind of going and choosing a book for David Attenborough's birthday and cataclysmic events like 9/11. When you were in because I was in New York, actually, when 9/11 happened.
Okay.
And what was so interesting in reading the book was there was, even in New York, there was this level of the unknown, and you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And you had a similar thing almost in the Sahara.
We were absolutely in the middle of the Sahara.
Right.
You couldn't have been in a more remote place.
No.
And, you know, there was no television then. We got sat phones so we could find out what was happening. But that was almost more alarming, because you could hear dreadful things about people jumping out of buildings and all that.
Yeah.
And without it being in context. And also, there was a great fear at the time, and you probably remember it, that it was going to spill out over New York to Paris to London.
Yes.
There was my wife back home. What do you say when you're in the middle of the desert? So that was a kind of weird time. And the people there I mean, they don't keep in touch with the rest of the world all the time. So
no.
for them, it was just another day.
And was it was a French couple that had a magazine?
Yeah.
That was the first time you saw any pictures?
Yeah, so these French paragliders suddenly appeared. I was trying to ride a camel again. And all that.
You know, just an everyday occurrence.
As one does. Well, yes. Well, there are no taxis there.
No, of course, yeah.
And we're going over the dune, and then suddenly these paragliders come in. They're French and all dressed up very smartly and all that stuff. They've got all the gear. And they had with them some magazines showing what had happened. That was the first time I saw the visuals of those appalling pictures of the towers falling.
Yeah. And when you say... Actually, when you say visuals, there are some very interesting visuals in the book as well. Like the time when you go to Billy Connolly's birthday and you wear a kilt.
Yes.
The proper way, too.
The traditional way.
How do you mean?
Well, without,
yes. Without regulation underwear.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then you get in a helicopter, no less. I mean, that's...
You're dicing with...
you really are.
All sorts.
Yeah, well, that's the way Billy does these things. You know, he has a castle up in Scotland, and it was his 60th birthday. It was a terrific event.
Yeah.
But he did want people to wear kilts. So there was a staff of people selecting kilts, putting them on and all that. I never realised how heavy a kilt is.
They are, yeah. As a garment.
Yeah. So...
But you could have had a terrible wardrobe malfunction.
I could, yeah.
Awful. It could have been
Especially
dreadful.
getting into the helicopter.
Yes, and with Chrissie Hynde, and then you thought that Brian Wilson was going to get in the helicopter as well.
Oh, yes, I said, I was with Chrissie Hynde and my wife, and Chrissie Hynde, she's a goddess.
Of course.
Anyway.
Sure.
I said, we're just waiting for Brian Wilson. I said, Brian Wilson? The Beach Boys? My God, I've chanced to meet him. Oh, no, he's a local MP. He wasn't very good at good vibrations.
They came from Billy and the party rather than the singing. Michael, it's lovely to see you. You said that you've dropped a copy off with John Cleese.
Yes.
As you haven't had any response just yet.
Well, no, it takes him time to...
Is he being nice to you at the moment? Every now and again...
He's incredibly rude.
No. If he's nice to me, then there's trouble. You know something's gone wrong. But he's very comfortable now because Fawlty Towers is doing so well on stage.
It is, yes.
So he's quite quiet now.
I see.
He's revelling in his glory.
He does appear quite a lot, as does David Attenborough and Alan Bennett. They're wonderful people I've met in my life, and there are little moments that would not be significant, but in the diaries that's just rather nice.
Little gems.
It's lovely. And you're on tour at the moment, and you're going to be talking about it and travelling around the country until October?
Yeah, till October, yes, in various venues. I get up and talk through the 11 years, the good and the bad moments and all that. Yeah.
Fabulous. Great. Michael, thank you for dropping by.
Well, lovely.
We'll probably see you in a month, because you're busy doing something else.
Yes.
We do like having you come in. It's always lovely. If you stick around, Jamie's making some delicious food as well.
Good. No. Jamie is always, when I come here, I just end up mouth-watering. all I've got is a biscuit.
Please do. I'll feed you. We love you.
He doesn't stop feeding everyone.
No, we'll give you a to go.
That is fantastic. Oh, he's holding up a cauliflower now. It's really getting to grips with it.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.